Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Sri Quantum Academy. This is Sridhar Reddy. Today I am going to discuss with you a topic from BSc final year semester 5th electromagnetic theory. From that, today we are going to discuss about how to find electric field intensity due to a charged cylinder, which is the application of Gauss theorem. This is unit 1. Outlook of my talk is I will discuss about previous knowledge and Gauss theorem and its application for how to find electric field intensity due to charged cylinder. Generally, electric field, what is electric field? Electric field is a region surrounded by a charge in which another charge experiences a force of attraction or repulsion. The force acting per unit charge is defined as electric field intensity. Electric field intensity is the force acting on another charge which is coming into the region, right. The electric field intensity E is basically defined as force per unit charge F by Q. Units are Newton per Coulomb. Electric field intensity at a point at a distance r is given by E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square. What is electric flux? Electric flux is the number of lines of force passing through given surface area normal to the electric field direction. If you see the diagram, there are three types of surfaces of equal area I have taken. One is red color and another one is light blue, black color, and another was light green color. If you observe carefully, first red color, in red color there are only two lines of force passing through that area. Light black color, four lines are passing through that one, and green color there are 5 lines of force passing through the given area. That means how many number of lines of force passing through the given area is indicated with electric flux. Generally, electric flux indicates the strength of the electric field or the force acting on the charge. Basically, electric flux is defined as the scalar product of electric field intensity and the surface area normal to the direction. Flux is indicated with phi. Mathematically, it is written as E dot A, dot product of electric field intensity and surface area. Let us suppose if I take small area ds, then my electric flux d phi can be written as d phi is equal to E dot ds, because my area is now ds. So, d phi is equal to EDS. To get total electric flux, I have to integrate both sides, then I will get phi is equal to integral EDS. Since it is dot product, to remove dot product I have to use cos theta. So, my phi is equal to integral EDS cos theta, right, where theta is the angle between normal drawn to the surface and electric field. Electric flux is always measured in units Webers. Next, Gauss law in electrostatics. According to Gauss law, the net electric flux through any closed surface is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times of the net charge enclosed by the closed surface. Electric flux phi, let us suppose the charge enclosed by surface is q. Let us suppose this is my closed surface, this is the charge q which is placed inside the closed surface. Then electric flux coming out from that closed surface is defined as phi is equal to q by epsilon naught. That means 1 by epsilon naught times of the net charge enclosed by the surface. Actually, flux can be written as integral E dot ds, that is equal to q by epsilon naught. To remove dot product, I can write integral EDS cos theta is equal to q by epsilon naught. This is Gauss law. Let us suppose there are many number of charges inside the closed surface. That means this is my surface, here one charge, here one charge, here one charge, here one charge, like this. There are many charges inside the closed surface. Then what I have to do? I have to find out net charge by summing them like algebraic sum. I have to sum up all the charges to get to net charge. then I have to divide with epsilon naught, that will gives you the electric flux. So, phi is equal to 1 by epsilon naught summation q. What is summation q here? Net charge, which is determined by summing up all the charges which are enclosed by the surface. Now, the applications of Gauss law, we can find out electric field intensity at various points due to sphere, due to cylinder, and we can find out the electric field due to conducting sheet or non-conducting sheet, or we can find out the electric field due to infinite conducting wire, right. Today we are going to discuss about the how to find the electric field intensity at various points due to a charged cylinder. This is also example for volume charge distribution, because cylinder has a volume, total charge is distributed over the cylinder. So, it comes under volume charge distribution. Now, our question is electric field due to uniformly charged cylinder. Where I have to find? First, at a point outside the cylinder I have to find out electric field intensity, and at a point on the surface of the cylinder, and I have to find electric field intensity at a point inside the cylinder, right. For that, what I am doing? I am taking a cylinder of radius r and on which a charge plus q is uniformly distributed throughout the surface. Now, my charge is uniformly distributed throughout the whole cylinder. So, I can take volume charge density rho is equal to q by v. Volume charge density means charge per unit volume, rho is equal to q by v. My cylinder length is L and radius is r, charge which is distributed is q. Now, rho is equal to q by v. But to understand this one, you see this is 3-dimensional figure of a cylinder. This is the axis, if you see clearly, on that axis there is a plus charge which is distributed on that one. Now, what is the direction of electric field? Always outward from the charge center, right. This is my direction of electric field. Okay. Now, if I zoom this one, this is the 2-dimensional figure of a cylinder. If you clearly observe, you will get 3 kind of surfaces. One is curved surface like this, and next one end surface, right end plane, and next one is left end plane. So, for a cylinder you will get 3 kind of surfaces, 3 types of surfaces. One is curved surface, and another one is right end plane, and another one is left hand plane. Now, see what I am doing. I am taking a small area ds for all these 3 curved surfaces. What happens? If I draw a normal ds, then it looks like, see here, for curved surface it is in that direction, for right hand plane it is in this direction, for curved it is like this, for right hand it is like this, for left hand it is like this, right. Now, see here, what is the electric field direction? See here, always electric field is like this only, but here ds is in this direction. What is theta? Theta is the angle between ds and E. Now, see here, here E is in this direction and ds is also in this direction, then what about the angle? Theta becomes 0. Now, see here, here E is in this direction but ds is in this direction, then what about angle? 90. Similarly, what about angle here? 90 again. So, for 3 cases in cylinder, for curved surfaces theta becomes 0, but right hand plane and left hand plane theta becomes 90, because electric field is perpendicular to the surface normal ds, right. This is for our derivation, remember here. Now, this is my cylinder of length L and radius r on which q charge is distributed uniformly. Now, my charge density rho is equal to q by v, but what is v? Volume of the cylinder. What is the volume of cylinder? Pi r square L. If I substitute v, then what I will get? Rho is equal to q by pi r square L. This is equation 1. What is our interest? I have to find out electric field at different points. First case one is if my point lies outside the surface. Let us suppose, first if my point lies outside the surface, then first consider a point at a distance r from the axis. Here r is greater than capital R. What is capital R? Radius of the cylinder. To find out electric field intensity, I have to use a Gauss law. To apply Gauss law, I have to draw a Gaussian surface. See here, this is my cylinder, this is the axis of cylinder, my cylinder radius is capital R, from the length of the cylinder is L, from the center at a distance r there is a point P at which I have to find out electric field intensity, that is outside of the cylinder. To do that, what I have to do? I have to draw a Gaussian surface like this. If I draw Gaussian surface, it looks like again cylinder. This is the Gaussian cylinder, right? Now I am taking 3 areas because I already told you for a cylinder you will get 3 surfaces, curved one and right hand plane and left hand plane. For both, but 3 cases electric field always in that direction. If you see here curved surface, now what I have to do? I have to find out electric flux in case of curved one and right hand one and left hand one. But you know that only curved one theta becomes 0 and left hand and right hand are theta 90. Okay. Now what I am doing? See here, total flux is equal to flux due to curved surface plus flux due to left hand plus flux due to right hand. So my total phi is equal to what I can write? Phi curve plus phi left plus phi right. Now phi is equal to integral EDS curve plus integral EDS left plus integral EDS right, because phi formula is integral EDS. Now phi is equal to remove dot product I have to write cos theta, EDS cos theta plus EDS cos theta left plus EDS cos theta right. Now substitute theta, phi is equal to, for curve it is 0, that means integral EDS cos 0 plus integral EDS cos 90 plus integral EDS cos 90, because left and right are 90. Now if I do that, then cos 0 becomes 1, cos 90 becomes 0, that means phi is equal to integral EDS plus 0 plus 0. That means what you will get? Phi is equal to integral EDS. Keep E outside and integrate it. Phi is equal to E integration ds, integration differentiation cancel. Now my phi is equal to ES. What is S? Where S is the surface area of Gaussian cylinder. What is the surface area? Generally cylinder surface area formula 2 pi RL, right? R is the radius, L is the length. Now substitute this one. Now what I will get? Phi is equal to E into S, instead of S 2 pi RL. But what is Gauss law? Phi is equal to Q by epsilon naught. What is Q? Charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. Equate these two, because left hand side both are phi. Now equate right hand sides, then what I will get? E into 2 pi RL is equal to Q by epsilon naught. If I simplify this one, bring the 2 pi RL this side, then E is equal to Q by 2 pi RL epsilon naught. Just to simplify it, E is equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught Q by RL. Let us suppose if charge enclosed by the cylinder is Q and the length of the cylinder is L, then the linear charge density lambda can be written as lambda is equal to Q by L. Lambda means linear charge density, that means charge per unit length. If I substitute that one, then E becomes 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught. Q by L can be replaced with lambda, then lambda by R. This is the electric field intensity at outside of the charged cylinder, right? Next, what I am doing? Second point, second case, if my point lies on the cylinder. If my point lies on the cylinder, then small r becomes capital R, because now R becomes capital R because on the surface. Just simply replace small r with capital R in above derivation. Here replace small r with capital R. So what I will get? Final answer, E is equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught lambda by capital R. This is second case. Next, third one, case number 3. If my point lies inside the cylinder, what to do? Let point lies inside the cylinder at a distance r prime. Now to apply Gauss law, what I have to do? I have to draw a Gaussian curve. Now see here, this is my original cylinder, this is the axis of my cylinder, this is the radius of my cylinder. Now this is the length of my cylinder L. Now at a point P where it is at a distance r, sorry it is r prime, remember it is r prime. Now to find out electric field, what I have to do? I have to draw a Gaussian curve. It looks like this one, right? Again I have to take 3 surfaces, curved one, left and right hand, right? Same thing, electric field again theta becomes 0 for curved one and left and right hand becomes 90 degrees. I have to find out flux for 3 cases, right? Now total flux becomes phi is equal to phi curve plus phi left plus phi right. That implies phi is equal to integral EDS curve plus integral EDS left plus integral EDS right. That implies put cos theta phi integral EDS cos theta plus integral EDS cos theta plus integral EDS cos theta. Substitute theta, phi is equal to integral EDS cos 0 plus integral EDS cos 90 plus integral EDS cos 90. Cos 0 1, cos 90 0, that becomes phi is equal to integral EDS plus 0 plus 0, right? Now that implies phi is equal to integral EDS, keep E outside and integrate, phi is equal to E integration ds, that becomes phi is equal to E into S. What is S? S is the surface area of Gaussian cylinder. Surface area formula 2 pi RL, but R here becomes R prime, inside it is R prime, so 2 pi R prime L, right? Now E is equal, phi is equal to E into S, S means 2 pi RL, 2 pi R prime L, substitute that one, phi is equal to E into 2 pi RL prime, that is equation. But what is Gauss law? Phi is equal to q prime by epsilon naught. What is q prime? Charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. What is volume charge density? Rho is equal to q by v, that implies q is equal to rho into v. What is v? Volume of Gaussian cylinder, formula pi r square L, but here r prime I have to write because Gaussian cylinder now r prime radius, so pi r prime square L. Now what about q? Q is equal to rho into v, pi r prime square L. If I substitute this one, then what is my Gauss law? Phi is equal to rho pi r prime square L by epsilon naught. But see here, this is my Gauss law, but what I got? Phi is equal to this one, both are is phi only, so equate these two equations. Now equate 4 and 5. So if I equate these two equations, what I will get? E into 2 pi r prime L is equal to rho into pi r prime square L by epsilon naught. Simplify this one, cancel pi and 2 and all, you will, they get cancelled and you will get only E is equal to rho r prime by 2 epsilon naught. This is electric field intensity, but actually what is rho? From equation 1, q by pi r square L. So substitute here, substitute that rho value in this equation, then what I will get? E is equal to q by pi r square L r prime by 2 epsilon naught. If I simplify this one, E is equal to q r prime by pi r square L into 1 by 2 epsilon naught. If I more simplify it, 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught q r prime by r square L. Now this is my E is equal to q by 2 pi epsilon naught r prime by r square L. But actually what is lambda? Q by epsilon naught, q by L. If I substitute that one, then E is equal to lambda by 2 epsilon naught r prime by r square. This is at outside of the cylinder, what I got, E is equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught lambda by r. At a point on the surface, what I got, E is equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught lambda by r. At inside the cylinder, what I got, E is equal to q by 2 pi epsilon naught r prime by r square L, or E is equal to lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught r prime by r square, right? If I draw a graph between electric field intensity on y axis and corresponding distance on x axis, it looks like this. For inside it is proportional to r, outside it is inversely proportional to r. That is why this is the graph which I will get, right. Now see here, same derivation I am doing same one. Case number 1, if my point lies outside, I have to draw a Gaussian curve, curved surface left and right hand I will get. Now just I have to simplify it one. Now I will get phi is equal to Es. I have to use Gauss law. What is Gauss law? Q by epsilon naught. I have to equate these two, then I will get E is equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught lambda by r. Similarly, case 2, simply small r becomes capital R now. Just I have to replace small r becomes capital R in a final equation, that I will get 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught lambda by r. Now case number 3, point lies inside the cylinder. Now what I have to do, I have to draw a Gaussian sphere in Gaussian cylinder inside the cylinder. Now again phi becomes phi curve plus phi left plus phi right, left and right becomes zeros, then I will get E into S. S is the surface area. Now if I substitute here, then what I will get, actually q prime is charge inside the cylinder. Now volume is pi r prime square L. If I substitute here, this is I will get. Just this is a simplification of equations. You can easily understand this one. This is the graph between the electric field intensity and corresponding distance, right. Summary. Now we have discussed about previous knowledge and Gauss law and its application to find out electric field intensity. Thank you one and all. Please subscribe my videos and share, comment my